They may not be able to do it at that time. One time also. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll let you know. All right. Trying to get all our stuff together. Because I had to move the camera a little bit for the Zoom.
Oh, we're on YouTube.
Oh. Yeah. Where's the- Okay.
All right, thanks. Oh, no problem. Brenna, we are almost done with decorations in the back.
It looks good back there.
You know, it should be a cheery place. Right?
Yes, that's right.
And I'm trying to drink more water. That's my New Year's resolution before New Year's.
I try to finish one of these a day.
Yeah.
It's really hard though.
Mhm.
Sorry, yeah, just.
Oh, it is.
Approach briefly, Judge. for
For
docket.
for what purpose?
Well, it's mainly just a motion to substitute that we file.
And you have to wait till I call docket. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. All right, everyone. Happy, today is Thursday, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow's Friday. Everybody should be happy. I'm going to call the docket. You need to let me know that you are here. Do you have a copy of the docket? Thank you. If I don't know you are here, what's going to end up happening is the warrant may be issued for your arrest. The court is actually recessing at 10:45 today. We have a jury trial that's starting this afternoon at 1:30. Richard Harris. In custody, we have Paul Zulaka, Adrian Alvarado, Danny Acosta, Lisa Quintanilla. In custody, we have Antoinette Garnica, Gildardo Ponce. In custody, we have Michael Teo, Jorge Diaz, Arthur Tovar, Abel Montez, Caitlin Martinez, Demetric Jackson, Abel Montez, Eros Rodriguez, Mario Carranza, Megan Tierney.
That we sent you on it. Yeah.
Ah,
We
thank
did that
you.
yesterday.
Can you pull that file for me so I can write in there?
You already wrote it.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Karen Munoz. Kilpatrick Taylor. Armando Jimenez is in custody. Jesus Remiel. Mariah Rodriguez. John Perez. Thank you. Hello, Miss Bill. All right, it's always great to see you. Marlissa Bell. And by the way, it's good to see other attorneys as well. But Phyllis Bill is here, and so other attorneys are here. Yes. Joseph and Zadua. Corey Sepulveda. Fortunata Alvarez. In custody is Donald Davis. Herbert King. In custody is Priscilla Gonzalez. Julian Palacios. Philip Singleton. Valdemar Henna. How do you?
You know what's that?
All right, there's a J there.
Oh, so. The horse. You know.
How do you pronounce your last name? All right, well, what is that J doing?
H. J's or H's in Spanish.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm learning. If Brenda, if you don't ask, you don't
That's
learn.
right.
Betty Gonzalez. Raul Hinojosa. Thank you.
H's are silent.
Yeah, but see it's HINOJOSA and then JOZA.
H and J are like the same.
H,
Ah.
H is silent, J is H.
Oh, okay. Well, now I know. Fernando Carmona. Thank you. Lisa Garza.
Yeah.
You know, the H is silent in French as well.
Really?
Yes. Jerron Crawford is in custody. Olivia Osorio. In custody is Francesco Hasso. Arthur Tovar. Gabriel Orellana is in custody. Katrina Mendoza. Jose Ruiz. Carlos Villegas, custody. Charles Garley. Arthur Scarborough, Richard Montez is this afternoon. Eckert Signs are in custody. Is there anyone who came in? Oh, thank you. Is there anyone who came in late? Yes, what is your name? Joseph. All right, you need to take a seat on the front row. Yes. All right, you need to take a seat on the front row. All right, anyone else whose name was not called or you came in late? All right, these are the rules of the court, everyone. Attorneys, if you have someone who's in custody, let the deputies know. The deputies will bring them out. Once you requested your client, please do not leave the courtroom because it makes things more difficult for them. And we're all about making everyone's job easier so that they can enjoy the profession that they have chosen. Attorneys, I try to keep the center of the courtroom as least congested as possible. I know some people think that COVID never happened, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. So now we have COVID, we have flu and the cold going around, hitting people with a triple whammy. Christmas time is coming up. I know people want to be healthy for the holiday season. So when you grab your file, just put it on the desk with the prosecutor and they will call you up in the order in which you'll appear. Do not approach the court unless you confer with your client, confer it with the state, and then you can approach the court. Again, just get the file from the clerk, have a seat. I will call you in the order of which you turn your file in. First will be first and last will be last. I will not allow people to jump over people. The court is going to be in recess at 10:45 today. So everyone, please confer. All right, thank you.
The Gerardo Ponce, he's on the ATR list on the second page.
Yes.
There's a motion to withdraw sitting in Michelle's Adobe. That one's gonna be withdrawn.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, could I see the file on Ponce as well?
You don't want to, don't bring him out.
But Mr. Ponce needs to be here. Okay, thank you. All right, Fernando Carmona. Oh, he's conferring.
This gentleman raised his hand. Judge.
Oh, your attorney's conferring. Your attorney's right there. Thank you.
You're out to probation.
All right, Gerardo Ponce, come forward. All right. Hello, why were you late for court?
I just went to the restroom and we are here in work. I just was outside.
Okay, court is at 9. It takes place
Yeah,
inside the
yeah,
courtroom.
no, I just had to walk real far to what I parked. That's why.
All right, you cannot be late again, you understand? All right, they're telling me that they are withdrawing your motion. So you want to make sure, because you are on deferred adjudication for a third-degree felony. You understand that? So from here on out, everything that you do, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 10 years? You understand? If the answer is yes, then you shouldn't do it. If the answer is maybe, you shouldn't do it. You understand? All right, sit right there with probation. Probation will let you know if they need anything else from you. All right, and then you'll be excused.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Christine, I asked for facility policy. They do have these, she's a little rested, they're not compliant, but she is downstairs. So I don't want to talk about it.
All right, can I see that file?
I think want to warn us about her that she's not happy.
All right, what is happening? All right, so what is happening with your client?
Judge, she is pending a competency evaluation.
Okay,
I actually filed it in August. I've been checking up with Judge Carruthers. The last update I got was that she was scheduled on the 22nd, that Dr. Scott was really backed up. And I've been asking for the report because she has been evaluated. But in addition to that, Judge, there's a notice of intent to raise the insanity defense and an insanity eval. So once she does the comp, I'm gonna ask Judge Carruthers to do the evaluation for insanity as well.
all right. And do you know if she's come back as competent or incompetent?
No, Judge, I've been trying to get that report. She was just seen by Dr. Scott last week.
Okay.
So I'm hoping we'll get it ASAP.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recall this then.
Okay.
And we're gonna recall it for February 2nd. And I'm giving you the February 2nd date because if it's determined that she's incompetent, she's gonna be placed at a facility, and that's gonna take time.
Yes, Judge.
And then once she regains competency, then you can file your sanity, and then that's gonna take time. But we'll tentatively set it for February 2nd. And if you have any information before that about whether she's competent or incompetent, if she's incompetent, let us know. We'll push it back a little bit more.
Yes, Judge. Judge, one last thing. Can I leave an off docket motion, please?
Yes, just give me 1 second. So on that one, we'll put it on February 2nd. And you can take her back. Do you have any objections to your client being taken back?
No, Judge, I met with her yesterday
All right, thank you.
and I'll meet with her again on Friday.
Okay. All right, and what's your other motion?
Okay.
Yes.
Judge, this is regarding, Joseph Gonzalez. I'm trying to get him out of field, Judge. We're just requesting the reporter's record for sanity. I did request it, from Ms. DeVos, but she asked me for an order.
Okay.
And I did go back and look to see if later we had put more and we didn't.
You're welcome.
Good to get me back.
Yeah, we'll just make me a copy of it.
Judge, mind?
Yes, thank you. All right, that was.
It is, it's not.
Okay. If you want to go.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, it's just that, oh, no, we need to have a hearing on this. He's just filed asking for a free transcript, but they're gonna have. Was it appellate attorney appointed?
Let me see.
Because if it's been, if he received an appointed counsel, then yes, then he would get the transcript for free. Yes. Yes, so it's appointed,
So
yes.
we should have filed it.
Yes, I think so.
All right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there's. I'd have to check. I have an order. Yeah. I
Yes.
really just- emotions.
Oh, okay, yeah, you need to correct the resolution. Is it?
It was effective, yeah, like. a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay, can you get this?
Okay,
Alright.
Still in custody there. I don't know what.
Could I see the file on Abel Montez? What we'll do, and so you say custody where?
Come out.
All right, what we'll do is we'll reset it and see if Norma can get them by Zoom.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
you're welcome.
Here.
All right, on Abel Montez, we're gonna recall that for December 12th. And Norman needs to see if he can do by Zoom. And he's in Comal County. Yeah.
You can leave it. Yes. Motion. Draw.
Bernard, it appears today I have to be in two places at the same time. I just got a text saying that we are required to be in the historic courtroom for photos.
Today
Yes, guess what time?
at 11:30.
Yes.
Oh, no. What are you gonna do? That's not a lot of notice.
No, it's not.
And Judge, at 10:45, everybody goes back.
Yes. Well, actually. No, we can go till, because I have to be in the historic courtroom now at 11:30.
So what time?
Adrian.
11:15. Thanks.
I'm just trying to get my mind.
Oh, let me just tell you, there's gonna be a lot of running for me. So hopefully I can leave here then by 12, get to the other place at 12:30,
But.
and then get back here at 1:30.
Oh, you need lunch.
I don't think lunch is gonna happen today.
I sent them a text. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Do they know that teaching?
yeah, they filled out the paperwork. They got it to me.
Okay.
I sent them a text.
Oh, you said, okay. Sorry, well, then, go ahead and send Henry.
Thank you so much.
Where's the boss?
File, did you get it?
Pardon?
Your file, you left your.
Okay,
file
I will
here.
grab that. Just can I approach one just real quickly?
Yes.
Did Norman get a chance to talk to you about my lady who's handicapped and been called for jury duty?
No, she did not.
So she's 100% disabled. Had her stroke paralyzed on the left side, and her husband has to fly her around.
I just.
Okay.
Depends what she wrote.
And there may be a look in there that I don't know what it is.
She didn't call the case.
No, you just have to push her.
Oh, so they're not, she's not gonna do this.
She will be needed. Yeah, it's
You're welcome.
Make it. You need someone?
Yes. Yeah.
Simon, he needs Oriana. Hi. She doesn't need to approach anything. I mean, are you ready to case?
Well, I mean, we need to reset the CPS records. We're ready to approach.
Mario Carranza. All right, what is happening with this case?
Sorry, it looks like the file's complete. There's an order, I believe, in the file now for to turn over CPS records. So we'll get that to Bets. We'll should have it ready by today, if not tomorrow. We can see.
All right, did you need it?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right,
As long
thank
as
you.
there's an order
Yes.
for coverage for us. And then I think he still needs to kind of review the child safe. Other than that, it appears the file is complete. And offer has been accepted.
All right, and you have the CPS records currently in your possession to turn over?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And then there's just for you to review child safe.
Yes, Judge.
And when are you planning on doing that?
I can get that done next week, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Carranza, I'm going to give you a plea deadline date. Your plea deadline date is going to be January 30th. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer After that date, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Do you understand? All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right,
What was the date again? Jeff?
January 30th.
Thank you.
All right, they'll give you a reset form. Who's here on an off data docket matter on Robert Hintnet? Yes, thank you.
Yes, I was just hoping to approach today on the motion to substitute, Your Honor,
Mhm.
just so we can kind of get a jump on things. We've recently been retained. Mr. Hetnick has a warrant, needs to come and turn himself in, and he's gonna do that super soon. But because I was here, I was hoping I could at least get that signed so I could see everything.
Yes, all right, then I have signed it.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And that's all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Want to be right back, Joe. Sure, thanks.
Yeah, take your.
Oh, no. I don't like, one time I ripped it and I was like, I'm not doing that again. All right, thank you. Oh, this is mine.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
What do you mean? Yeah, I talked to the judge about my during question. She.
You get a number of days jail on somebody. 2022 CR 8567. Yes, is that the harassment case
I went
or the arson?
years.
I don't know.
That will be TFC, the harassment. How many
Oh.
days? Are they the same? I think they're the same.
Yes,
Mr. Singleton, I was tardy to the call of docket. He said, come back this afternoon. It's a bond.
mhm.
Thank you.
I don't know if you misunderstood or whatever, so I was just trying to see what we're doing.
Oh, where's Mr. Singleton?
Scarborough,
Scarborough, where is he?
he's interested,
Okay,
file a motion for bond.
did you confer with the state?
Last time I was here, they were not in agreement.
Okay, All right, did you file a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me see if I can find the motion.
Like, in October, and we were here last time. You said bring it back today and we look at it.
Do you need him, Your Honor? We have him downstairs.
All right, well, when you get a chance, if you could bring him up,
Okay.
and we'll hear it.
Well, I found it in October, right? Yeah.
February 16th.
Have you talked to the state about the motion?
I'll revisit them again.
Yes, revisit them about Mr. Scarborough's motion.
Let me look at.
Yeah, here.
He's not.
Oh, you need to request him. Okay. And then we'll put your files up there. Once he's out here, we will. What do you need?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Oriana, Gabriel?
Is he-
Yes, he's here.
What's his last name?
Oriana?
Is he a Spanish speaker?
Yes.
Okay, I need to request a,
Pretty good job.
It's not gonna be a plea. I gotta explain to judge.
she's still gonna need,
Oh, an interpreter? Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
let me get an interpreter.
okay, thank you.
He's out there. Okay.
Yeah, we should think more like. The statements are. The victim. It's not like, I didn't do. My witnesses told me. Yeah. Social crime. Just give me a second. I'm not gonna-
We'll be talking back there.
Like these three that are. These three of them that are taken into the mother tables. You know, who's that? Eddie Gonzalez, Raymond Valley, and other laundry. No, no. I just, can you put towel up there? You can go there. That's what I was. Okay. So what did it approve?
I rubber band the old child insurance.
All right, thank you. Who's here? Michael Tello?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
We thought Ryan was coming in today, so I told him we would approach, but Ryan's actually on his way, so we put it up there prematurely.
Okay, all right, thank you. No problem. All right, they're not ready.
Oh, they have to be the first.
Oh, no, that happens.
Cleaning like a baby. You can do this tonight. What's with this?
Heroes, Rodriguez, first row, and.
Yes. Okay, oh, I see what you're saying. I did do that. I believe so. I visited in like 2 days ago. I understand what you're saying. The previous attorney told you had it. I'm on there. Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah,
What-
you know
or-
which one in.
what do you want? Exactly, right, all right, I can do that,
We'll do that. I'll bring more back.
just to. You know, before we do. Don't make us. I really don't want to come out of the but I already have another case.
Because you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like.
Yeah.
Yes. 2010. Yeah, and then-
It's just a filed motion today. Can I flip that in your file, please?
Were you ready to put your appointment?
I'll need a minute to confirm with the DA. Just put it in the file. I'll need a minute to confirm, but I'll let you know.
I don't know. I'm sure you want to have.
If Nan's gone, he's gonna come in on tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, okay, all right.
I didn't know he was right.
No, that's good.
And CR 10127.
Yes.
That's on my bond issue. We're not gonna be able to reach an agreement.
Okay. Did you all confer on the actual motion to revoke though?
Yes, ma'am, we've heard on
I
that.
know, just.
All right, and do you all have an agreement on that?
He had a warrant.
Okay.
Arrested on warrant.
All right, just have them pull the file and I'll take up your matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is an MTR, that's why he.
Yeah, so can we just do everything on Friday or do we need more? Yeah, we'll do them to on Friday as well. Okay, thanks.
Okay, great. Oh.
I think.
All right, Edgar signs. All right, if everyone in the box could please make sure that you're quiet, we're going to go on the record. In just one moment, Brenna.
Okay.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 8220, State of Texas versus Edgar Sands Otero. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lorena Romo for the state.
Defense?
John Gilmore for Edgar Signs of Terror. Good morning.
Good morning. And are you Mr. Otero?
I am your honor. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, counsel, I'm going to show you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Otero, I'm going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I do, your honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Plea.
I believe you all are proceeding on count one, paragraph A.
Yes, as indicated on the plea page, we are not proceeding on the entire indictment.
All right, any objection to the waiver of paragraph B?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Otero, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, your honor.
All right, did you understand the state is proceeding on online solicitation of a minor with the intent to arouse or gratify as stated in count one, paragraph A, as a third degree felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
I understand.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
I understand.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
I understand.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, I do.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do believe that.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Otero, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
no, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
I do. I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, did you advise your client or have him speak with an immigration attorney to advise him of the consequences of entering a plea of no contest or guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the application of federal immigration law?
I have, Your Honor, and he has consulted with an immigration attorney on that exact subject.
All right, and who is the immigration attorney?
I believe it's Alejandra Martinez. She hasn't entered the notice of appearance or anything like that, but they have consulted.
Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, did your attorney advise you of the consequences of entering a plea of no contest of guilty in the application of federal immigration law?
Yeah.
Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or the denial of naturalization?
I understand, yeah.
And do you understand the consequences as it relates to your immigration status and entering a plea in this case?
The deportation, yes, Your Honor.
Right. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I do, I do.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1, paragraph A. Punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There are no fines. There's no applications. And of course, there's chapter 62 compliance. Did you understand that to be the plea?
I understand, yes.
Defense is at the plea.
That is the plea.
State is at the plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No motions filed on behalf of the defendant.
All right, then to the offense as charged in count 1, paragraph A, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I'll contest, Your Honor.
And Mr. Otero, is English your first language?
No,
All right. Have you been able to understand everything that's being said to you in English?
yes, I understand.
All right, and all of the documents are in English. Were you able to understand those documents?
Yes,
All right, and what is your native language?
Spanish.
All right, and counsel, are you able to speak Spanish?
I'm not, but we have had no issues communicating. I've been speaking with him for the better part of about 147 days now, Your Honor. And we've had no issues communicating or, preparing a defense or having negotiations with the state as well.
All right, thank you. State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, the state offers states exhibit number 1 and its attachments, and I would direct the court's attention to the conclusion paragraph and the attached texts. And the court note that all the texting was done in English as well.
All right, thank you.
And there are no objections to that.
All right, Mr. Otero, I'm gonna show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
yeah,
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
I understand.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say? Are you want to proceed with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just very briefly, Your Honor, I would ask that you follow the recommendation that's been presented to you. And I would ask that there is consideration taken into the fact that he has served over 147 days now, Your Honor. His plan is to go back to Mexico and to care for her ailing mother. I think she's 80 years old now. And that's the goal going.
All right, anything you wish to say, Mr. Ochara?
Yes, ma'am. I'm very ashamed of being here, Your Honor. This got caused a lot of pain for me and my family. I understand the consequences of my actions.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and there's to be Chapter 62 compliance. Anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further from the defense.
Not regards to sentencing, but I would just like to state something on the record.
Yes.
There is an allegation of a sexual assault involving the same victim. I provided a Brady notice, it was an email, and defense counsel added it to the court filing, so there's Brady notice, and the state is not proceeding on that sexual assault. I believe it is either at large, it's not filed. It's at large, or we have the allegation. I will make sure everything is closed out, but I did not include it as part of the plea bargain because there was no action. I just wanted that on the record.
And that is correct, Your Honor. I did receive notice of that, and that is within the 30 disclosures that the state has made.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
I understand.
And also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes. No problem.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Otero, you're gonna have to start doing better in your life. You understand?
I understand.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. Thanks.
Jerwan Crawford.
Yes, Your Honor. I've conferred with the state. The indictment is 6 weeks old. The state has indicated they need to look further into medical records. Mr. Crawford is held without bond on a motion to revoke out of County Court 15. Again, this case is 6 weeks old. I'd ask you to pass it. I'm being called to the 226 right now for a sentencing hearing.
All right, Ms. Burgess, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Crawford?
Yes, ma'am. We'll come back on January the 4th.
All right, we'll see you in the new year.
1-4. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Which page is Mr. Crawford on?
It's on 7.
Thank you.
There's some restitution issues. He's intending to plea, and I don't know exactly how long it's gonna take him to get the restitution issues straightened out. But I was just gonna see.
Mr. Crawford, we're gonna bring you back on January 4th, and you have more than one case, so let's give a chance for the state to look over everything, okay? All right, thank you. And what page is, what page was Otero?
He's on the recall.
All right, thank you.
The interpreter is here.
All right, and who is she here for? Ah, here we are. Gabriel Ariana. I know I butchered that last name, Brenna.
No, you did really well, good.
Oh, thank you.
Morning, Aaron.
Good morning. All right, so this is not on the record, but I just want him to understand what's being said. All right, who's the prosecutor on this case? So what is happening on this case?
Judge, we do have an offer from the state. Our client is interested in taking that offer, Judge, but his independent immigration counsel, Mr. Rudy Castillo, has not yet given me a Padilla letter indicating what the consequences would be, so we can relay it to the client, Judge.
All right, do you have an update on when they'll be able to get that to you?
I did speak to Mr. Castillo, Judge, and he said somewhere within probably the next week.
All right, so do you want this called later in December?
Yes, Judge, I would appreciate that.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can you give me probably the last week in December that we're going to be here?
I think it's the 19th.
December 19th?
Yes, Judge, and just for for my client who is just a little maybe nervous with dates, I just want to let him know that if Mr. Castillo does acknowledge that he can take this offer, that we can bring him back a little bit earlier before December. Or
Yes,
before that date, Judge, just the amount.
yes. Mr. Aurelio, look at me. I'm throwing an O in there now, Mom. It's no O in there. I'm sorry. And see, I would say Gabriel, but I like to give all people respect. So Mr.
Oriana.
Ariana. Now there's an A, there's no O. I keep adding an O to the end.
No, it's an O, it's just.
All right, Ariana. See, if I say it real fast, then you won't know that I'm mispronouncing it. Whenever your counsel wants this brought back, for example, if he's able to bring it back next week because your immigration attorney has informed you of the consequences, then all he has to do is contact the coordinator and we will place it on the docket. All right, do you have any questions about anything?
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And let me find him.
He's on 7th here.
Thank you. Alvarado. Okay, yes. Are you all ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, I need everyone to be quiet in the box. Court is calling 2020 CR 5430, State of Texas versus Adrian Alvarado. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? And are you Adrian Alvarado? All right, Mr. Alvarado, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? I'm going to need you to speak up. Okay. Are you the same Adrian Alvarado who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 5430 for the offense of violation bond protective order of assault stalking on August 25th, 2020 for a period of 2 years and extended for a total of 2 years? Is that you? All right, state.
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Adrian Alvarado did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed on or about the day of July 27th, 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive all of the violations.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5? Court would find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge, we're asking that you grant the motion, adjudicate, find him guilty, and revoke him and sentence him to 2 years in the prison.
Your Honor, I discussed with my client, I explained to him that he would be a convicted felon after today, but we are asking for the follow the agreement.
All right. And who is the violation bond protective order concerning?
It was the mother of the children, they're no longer together. And the children are they're 19 and 20. 19 and 20.
All right, so here's my question. We were here on September 9th for a motion to revoke. And on that day, it was a violation of condition number 5. So why should I give him the minimum when it appears he hasn't done anything? Has he done anything?
He completed status and ISF.
All right.
He also, I don't have any indication he completed the BIP program. But aftercare, he's included, and he was on the ISP high risk base code. He didn't complete the parenting class. And he owes a balance, Your Honor.
All right, so here's the thing. I can either sentence you to 2 years, but I won't be giving you credit for any inpatient treatment time. Or I can sentence you to 3 years and I will give you credit for inpatient time.
Judge, my client asked that we proceed with the 2 year.
Okay. All right, then I will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served, and he's not to receive credit for inpatient treatment time. All right, is there any, sorry, and there is. And I'm going to order no contact with Vanessa Alvarado. And did he pay the $100 donation to the approved Family Violence Center? Did you pay that? All right, and I'm going to order $100 donation to an approved Family Violence Center. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
None from the defense.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
No.
All right, we can go off the record. You're going to have to start doing better with your life. You could have completed this successfully. All you had to do was report and do your classes. Now you're going to prison. You're going to have to make better decisions. You understand?
All
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. John Ray Perez. John Ray Perez.
He's outside. I'm just gonna ask what he said.
Okay, you want to have him come in?
Oh,
Is that
I can
what-
have him come in.
Yes, have him come in. And then after this, we're going to take up Carlos Villegas. And who's the state on John Ray Perez? John Ray Perez?
Yes.
Come forward. Come forward. John Ray Perez. Is that him?
No, no.
Okay. He was like, yes. You know, if you call people's name, they just say your name. All right, so what is happening with this case?
So this is, there's a co-defendant on this, Starlin, probably last name, I can get it for you. Dutch.
No.
There's been an offer.
Judge, I apologize for that.
The only.
Oh, there's the line. Oh, that's okay.
The issue with this case and the co-defendant's case, judge, is we're waiting for proof of the value of the items from the insurance.
Mhm.
Insurance covered a portion and there's still an outstanding balance of restitution that the insurance didn't cover.
Mhm.
We're trying to figure out what the issue was.
And when are you gonna have that information?
I hope any day now, judge.
Okay. All right. So, do you want to come back in December or you want to come back in the new year?
I'm gonna be gone a big part of December, so I would like to come back in January.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can you reset, Mr. Perez for January, please?
Yes, I can do January 4th.
January 4th?
That'll be fine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Oh, okay. Can I just let him go back outside and I'll bring him?
Yes. Who's here on Carlos Villegas? And where's Mr. Villegas? I'm sorry, everyone, just give me a moment, please. Okay, but that's a great sign because that means she's doing well. Yeah. All right, where's Mr. Villegas?
Yes, he was supposed to be brought today, Your Honor, but he had a previous attorney and that attorney said that he couldn't make it today. And for that reason, he wasn't brought over, but
Okay.
I'm his attorney of record. I know where his wishes are because I met with him and his family. And I believe the state's prepared to offer him a JSAT today.
Okay, we're just withdrawing.
So, yeah,
Okay. Well, look at the great work you do.
wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, oh, this hasn't been signed by probation. If they could sign it, then I'll sign it.
Okay.
Well, we can dismantle it for parking.
Yes.
Just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
See, Brenda, this is, you know, when attorneys are, you know, substitute in and they come in and it's supposed to be a contested hearing and then they just solve issues. All right, thank you. Good seeing you.
Okay.
Thank you. Eros Rodriguez. And Mr. Rodriguez, if you come forward. All right, Mr. Rodriguez. Hello. So you want to explain to me why you were late?
I had to come here with my phone died. So I navigated my memory and I got lost. I went to the courthouse and they planned with.
All right, so you use your phone to navigate your way here.
I couldn't use my phone. Because my phone died.
Okay, all right, so how old are you?
I'm about to be 21 in a couple weeks.
All right, Brenda, you know what? When people are young, they always rush towards their birthdays. So here's the thing, I require everyone to be on time. Here's the second thing, Sometimes that GPS is wrong. I've used it before and I said, I know it's giving me the wrong direction, but I still follow it and it ends up being wrong.
I only knew how to kind of get here because I looked at it last night,
Mhm.
but this morning.
Yeah.
I had to.
When I was younger, we only had MapQuest and you had to print it out. Or either the paper map. What are we doing with this case?
Judge, he's a really good kid. That's why he doesn't know where the courthouse is. No occasion to come down here.
Not even a visit to say hi,
Not even a
to
visit.
see, you should visit.
And I use my cell phone to go everywhere too. Even to court, I'll still follow it. Just to make sure.
That you know where it is
That's old man stuff.
and
So,
that you're on time
yes.
at 9 a.m.
And that. He has very recently hired me. This is our first setting together. I believe it's probably in court. I would like to, I admittedly don't know if I have all this covered, but there's a good chance I do. I just want to visit with him with it. So if you could give us a comeback date, so him and I could sit down, review discovery, consider offers, and then try to move forward from there.
All right, we can come back in December or the beginning of January.
I would say the beginning of January,
All right,
just to give us more time.
Ms. Ferguson.
I can do January.
What date?
I can do the 9th.
All right. We're going to be back here on January 9th. Make sure you're on time. Now you know where it is. Are you employed?
I am working.
All right, do you have to go back to work?
Not today.
Oh, enjoy the river walk. You know, walk to the restaurant, get a meal. You know, people don't enjoy the river walk enough.
Judge, your coordinator said he'd get lost.
You know, he is not going to get, would you get lost on the river walk?
I don't know that.
Well, you know what? You could walk around and get used to the downtown area.
I'll get lost on my way there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know why here in the United States, people put a city down instead of designing it. You know, Paris is my favorite place, and people say to know a city, you have to get lost. You cannot get lost in Paris because they actually designed the city before they built it. You can walk with your eyes closed and you.
Second time. It burned down.
Yeah.
So.
But no, it's still the same. I've tried to get lost in Paris. You can't. It's impossible. Getting lost in Paris means you can get lost in your home.
But it happens all the time.
All right, thank you. Be on time next time, okay? And happy upcoming birthday. You're welcome. Charles Jones. Charles Lee Jones, just have a seat, sir. We're waiting for your attorney. Who's the attorney on Charles Jones? Ah. Okay, sure. Okay,
He was in rehab during the time that he had court the last time.
all right. And you're asking that his bond be reinstated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson on Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, come forward. Hi. Hello, who's your attorney?
Russell Mitchell, and as you know, he's been here like maybe twice.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I don't allow people to speak ill of anyone unless they're present. So I'm trying to find out who is your attorney. So that's my first question. You told me it's Russell Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am.
My next question, is he appointed or retained?
Appointed.
All right. So
Russell has been here.
Okay.
Russell has
no,
asked to-
I don't allow anybody to speak ill of anybody who's not present.
Yes, ma'am.
So what we're going to do is, the bondsman has asked that he be allowed to get back on your bond. I'm allowing that. So you'll probably be released today. The next question is, we need to get you a reset date. So, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, I want this brought back in December.
I can come back on the 12th.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson is going to give you a reset form for December 12th. It's at 9 a.m. You need to be here. If you're not here at 9 a.m.,
I'll be
we're going to have issues, okay?
I'm clean and sober. You're gonna stay that way.
Awesome. So when you leave here, you know you probably need to be in a class. You understand? Stay clean and
I'm going to
sober.
Meetings nearly every day.
Okay, awesome. And what date, Ms. Ferguson?
December 12th.
All right, we'll see you back on December 12th at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am, I appreciate you.
All right. Oh, thanks for appreciating me. It's nice to be appreciated. You're welcome. Good seeing you.
You same here. You take
Okay.
care. Happy holiday.
Oh, happy holidays to you too. All right, is the attorney here on Arthur Scarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Oh, and sir, you're right here,
Okay,
and your client is in the center.
isn't that clear? Right to the right.
There you go.
You're just like this wig.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 8528, State of Texas versus Arthur Scarborough. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
Matt Stolhansky for Mr. Scarborough.
And are you Mr. Scarborough?
Yes.
All right, you have a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Of course, you are entitled to a bond because it's a deferred adjudication. So the question is, what should the amount of bond be? So is there an agreement on a bond amount?
It's not an agreement, Judge.
And state, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're asking for 150,000 and then full GPS authorized.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, my client would like something in the neighborhood of $50,000. He doesn't object to GPS. We have a hearing set for the 15th, I think, on this anyway. Contested.
All right, you say he doesn't object to GPS?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, can he not afford the 150,000 that the state is requesting?
Well, he can't afford anything, but his brother and sister here, and they tell me they can put together enough to get a 3% down on a $50,000 bond.
All right. And any objections to the court reviewing the allegations in the motion?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Scarborough, I'm not taking the allegations in the motion necessarily as true. But if I'm going to give you a bond, I want to know whether or not there's some allegations of you not reporting or missing, that type of thing. You understand? All right, probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And again, I'm not taking this as true, but I need some clarification. You understand? On the violation number 15, is that purely financial? Failing?
One second, Your Honor.
Because violation number 15 says instructions and financials, and sometimes it's just financial. So I want to know.
They're alleging that he wasn't truthful on his lie detectors.
So that's the 15?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm opening it right now, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And I think we can agree that's the violation. Not
Yes.
being truthful on.
Oh, so that's the failure to follow instruction for 15 is being,
Well, there were two. I don't have a copy of it.
Okay.
all right, so probation's gonna.
Your Honor, the violation report indicates he was suspended from the court-ordered sex offender treatment program for failure to make progress toward a reasonable treatment goal. He continues to deny responsibility, continues to blame the victim, and even states he was the victim in the offense. I don't have any indication that it's only for the
Finance.
monetary.
Okay. All right, and counsel, you're in your motion, you say you're requesting that his bond be at 5,000. So I'm assuming that's a typo. Okay.
We'll take 5,000.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
No.
All right, and the court will note for the record that the court has reviewed the defendant's criminal history as well. And the court is noting on the record that this is deferred adjudication, and the defendant is entitled to a bond on deferred adjudication. And so I will set the bond at $70,000. And full GPS.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Ms. Ferguson, on this case, when is the contested hearing scheduled?
On the 15th. He has a NTR set on the 15th.
All right, so we'll be back on the 15th for your contested hearing.
Yes, sure.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I did want to notate in the system, it states that he is up to date on all of his fees.
All right, thank you. All
Thank
right,
you,
so we'll be back on the 15th.
Thank you.
Michael Teo, are we already on that?
Yes. Ryan. Here. He was. Thank you.
Was he really?
Well, in the metaphorical sense.
Yes. All right, what is happening with Mr. Teo?
Your Honor, I've been in communications with Mr. Groomer for the past month to try and sit down with him one-on-one about this case in order to discuss the plea offer. But I guess through a comedy of errors, I think Brian was on vacation for a little while, and then Thanksgiving hit, and then I believe he was sick and was just now recovering to come back into the office. We would ask that the court allow us to recall this for a week to allow me to sit down with Mr. Groomer and discuss the agreement. Another added factor to that is that Mr. Teo is originally one of my father's old clients, and Charles would like to be involved. However, he's been in the hospital since Tuesday of last week.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
He had surgery for a blood clot and then unfortunately suffered a stroke the next morning. But the cognitive tests have showed good results, and the hope is that he'll be released and back available by the beginning of next week.
Okay, well, tell him to take it easy. You can't just pretend like you're Superman.
Your Honor, you've known his personality
Yes.
for quite some time, and like a lot of the esteemed attorneys in this building, they just work and work and work, and telling them to not is like telling them not to breathe.
Well, tell him I'm ordering it. We'll see how
will.
that goes.
I
Do I
will.
need to write it and put a seal on it or something?
I think he fully understands the weight of this court and
Okay,
will respect it.
all right. So do you want it back in December or do you want it in January?
January would be preferable, but I will, of course, work at the court's mercy. So
All right, Mr. Teo, you've heard that counsel's father is in hospital. I will set it in January, but if both your attorneys want to come back sooner than January, you can just let Ms. Ferguson know.
absolutely, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a beginning of January date for this?
Yeah, so I can do January 8th.
All right,
Wait, is that sorry,
That's a
I
Sunday.
can, yeah, I can do the 9th.
all right, January 9th. I won't be here on January
Neither will I.
8th. All right. So, Mr. Teo, we're going to bring you back on January 9th. And counsel, if you could confer with the state off docket,
Absolutely.
because this case is getting old.
I am aware, Your Honor,
All right,
and we will move with expeditious force.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This way. All right, my person.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Would you put it up there?
Hi, I'm here about Mariah Rodriguez.
All right, let me see. Do I have her phone? All right, if you can have them pull the file.
Mariah Rodriguez. Is that? No, that's correct.
All right, while they're getting that, oh,
I'm letting you know she's still incarcerated in the Cracken County, Kentucky.
all right, so Ms. Ferguson. State, what are we doing about Mariah Rodriguez? She's in Kentucky. In custody. Does anyone have a number where perhaps we could zoom her in from Kentucky?
I have not.
But I don't know. I haven't talked to.
Being held there with remanded without bond for bail.
And what is the charge?
Bail jumping.
Oh. And I remember this now. We looked it up. Bail jumping in Kentucky is a first degree felony.
Yeah.
So
It'll kill you.
see, if people would understand, Brenna, when I remand people without bond for not appearing, that's called bail jumping in Kentucky, and it's a first degree felony. And I think you could get a life sentence for that.
And it was a silly. Third degree felony.
Oh, yeah, Counsel, I remember you were here last time and we actually looked it up for you. And in Kentucky, they actually have your face
Yeah.
and what you're charged with, which court you're out of, and who the prosecutors are. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you see if perhaps we can get a Zoom from Ms. Rodriguez at a later date? She's in Kentucky, being held for bail jumping, which is a first degree felony. I mean, that's right up there with murder charge in Kentucky. It's a first degree felony.
Yeah.
Yes. What date?
I want to need some time because I have.
No, I mean, give me a date.
I can do like January 31st.
All right, so we'll set her for January 31st.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, here's this one. Corey Sepulveda. Corey Sepulveda. All right, where's Sepulveda? Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, we have an offer in the case related to my client. He is thinking about it, but I think at this point, we would like to put on the trial docket. I think it's already on the trial docket, let's set up the trial.
No, it's not on the trial docket. Just one moment. All right, Ms. Ferguson on Sepulveda,
Yes, ma'am.
I need a 2-week reset for plea deadline date.
I was going to send the impact.
Okay. What date?
Monday.
All right, you're going to impact for jury trial on Monday. So on that date, I will allow if you want to enter a plea on that date, you can still enter a plea on that date. But Monday will be your jury trial date and it will be an impact court. All right, so that will be December 5th.
Okay, thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
You need to do a acknowledgement of discovery. And Ms. Ferguson will give you your reset form.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Michael Nzanza. Yes. Yes.
I have to set up for partner with the state on it, subject to your approval. My 95-year-old mother, I came here yesterday for procedure, has Alzheimer's.
Okay.
It's first time yesterday.
Why are you here? You should be with your mom.
Well, I I wanted to see if I could reset this date for the very first setting in January.
Of course you can. You should have just called in.
No, I had a couple other places I needed to come, and
Well, you should have told them, hey, I'm gonna be with my mom. I can't be here.
believe me, they've been extremely generous, Your Honor.
Yeah.
But but that first, whenever you're back on Monday, we'll be here to play on.
All right. What date would you like in January?
Whatever that, I don't even know.
Tell me
second,
what
third,
date.
Fourth, whatever, that first Monday you're back, Judge.
Okay,
The fourth?
wait a minute. Just 1 second. No. Let's not do it the 4th. Let's do it the 2nd week.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you okay with the 2nd week in January?
That'd be
All right.
awesome, Your Honor.
The ninth?
The ninth?
Ninth?
That'd be great.
All right, we'll see you on the
Thank you very
9th.
much, Your Honor.
And tell your mom I said hello.
I would, but she.
I know,
I'll
but just
tell
tell her hi.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Arthur Tovar. Good morning. What's happening with your case and where is Mr. Tovar?
I don't know where Mr. Tovar is. My last contact with him was November 15th, and it was to convey to him and remind him this court date today. I understood from him that he knew about it and he was going to be here. And
All right. Can I have a prosecutor? Court is calling 2022 CR 9935, 2022 CR 9936A, 2022 CR 10133, State of Texas versus Arthur Tovar. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Robert Ramirez for Mr. Tovar.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:30 a.m. Deputy Laura, did you do an announcement for Mr. Tovar?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, and he did not answer.
All right, defense, do you have an idea where your client is?
No,
And was your client aware of this setting?
yes, he was.
All right, state.
On a statement for bond forfeiture and for warrants commission.
All right, that'll be granted in each cause number. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you. Your
We
Honor.
can go off the record. You know, in Kentucky, this would be a first-degree felony for not appearing. All right,
I just learned that this morning.
okay,
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
Thanks, Mom. Do I need to stick around or that, did the judges sign that? You know?
No.
So I'm good to go? Okay, all right, thanks.
Philip Singleton? Is the attorney here on Philip Singleton? Lisa Marie Garza, is the attorney present? Lisa Garza? Okay. All right, and where's Miss Garza? Let me see what page she is on. Brenna, do you see her anywhere?
Let me see.
All right, thank you. All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, this is the first setting. I had conferred with the pre-indictment prosecutor, I've talked to Marcus about the case. And I think there's a lot of investigation needs to be done about the situation. So we're, I guess, at the beginning of the discovery process.
All right, I'll give you a regular reset. Can I have a 30-day reset, please?
With that, January 4th.
And Judge, we had filed a motion to modify her GPS conditions at one time. And we would like to ask the court to consider removing it. Is that something the court could hear, or could we refer to Judge Carruthers?
You can refer to Judge Carruthers, or either if you want to bring it back in December. Later
Okay.
in December, the court will hear
Okay,
it.
perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
And Judge, I have some bond issues on the docket as well. I think we've been for a while. We have an agreement.
Is this on docket or off docket?
That one's awesome.
Okay. Who's here on Lisa Jean Quintanilla?
Judge, I'd like to approach, I
Yes.
would like not to go forward if that's possible. I had a legal question for this honorable court.
I'm always here to hear questions, Brenna. Now, whether I have an answer, that's a parse of a different color.
Well, this will happen to be in the jurisdiction of Texas judge, not Kentucky. But we have a 10-year probation, hypothetically. If we had a 10-year probation and my client has been on for all 10 years, can the court extend it a year?
Not on deferred.
Not on deferred. Okay. Then my question for you is hypothetically.
Oh, hypothetically, probation has.
Yes,
some info-
she's been within this hypothetical all this time. Judge. I've not been outside of.
Brenna, I feel like it's jury selection. We're dealing in hypotheticals.
Yes, let's say that my client owes another $30,000.
Mhm.
And she put her house on the market last month. And probation is okay with resetting the case. May I please get it hypothetically, do you think in that situation?
Yeah, I don't see why we can't reset it
Okay.
or contest it and then see what happens on that day.
Well,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, can we reset it out for a while, please, so she can hypothetically sell this house?
Hypothetically, we can set it in January.
I think
And hypothetically, we'll see where we are in January.
Perfect, Judge.
Okay.
That's hypothetically, thank you.
And hypothetically, someone needs to be watching HGTV because you have to get your house ready for sale. You have to do staging.
Yes.
Staging.
Well, do you know now people actually are professional stagers?
It's a profession.
And and they charge 20,000 depending on the square footage of the home.
When you're showing it, you got to bake cookies or.
Yes, they say you have to have your kitchen smelling like cinnamon or something.
Yeah.
Or bacon. One of the two.
Yeah. And have the grill going out back. Yes. All right, well, she's on regular probation.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
All right, thank you. All right, I saw something that said deferred. All right, so yes, what will end up happening is we will just set it in January.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can I have a late January date for her?
The 31st.
All right, January 31st.
And who are we hypothetically calling?
And then, Judge, I believe there's also an ignition interlock removal motion for your review when you get a moment.
Okay, all right, I'm just going by an order of
Thank
appearance.
you, Judge.
You're welcome. And this is on the docket today, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and where is your client?
She's right there in the back.
Okay. All right. There we are. Richard Harris, who's the attorney on Richard Harris? Come forward. Okay, on this case, I believe a plea was entered. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so we're just here for sentencing?
Yes, and you can order to make.
Yes. And let me pull up on. Ah, thank you. You're so awesome. I appreciate that. All right, the court is going to call 2022 CR 5910, State of Texas versus Richard Dominique Harris. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Ronald Fenari.
All right, and are you Mr. Harris? All right, Mr. Harris, you entered a plea on November 1st of no contest. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court ordered a MIC evaluation. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending community supervision. The court is in receipt of the evaluation and it is recommending MIC caseload. Is there anything else that you would like the court to consider before sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Harris, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. So how are you spending your days? What do you do when you're not in court?
Kids,
Okay. How many children do you have?
and 3 grandkids.
All right, and are you the sole provider for them or is there someone else helping you?
You know, to tell you the truth, like I think their mamas are very good parents, but they ain't got no smoke with me, and you know what I'm saying. So I get to see them and I take care of them.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out, are you supervised when you're with them? Like, is there somebody else? All right, so what do you do with your children?
I just have a good time with them, you know, just communicate with them, you know, they love their daddy, you know. Before I came to court, you know, I took a picture with them, you know, took them to school, you know. So,
Oh, okay. So, are they elementary school age?
yeah, my oldest is 22,
Okay,
and I got the little ones, you know.
all right. So how do you support yourself financially?
Well, I'm in the phase of getting my disability back.
Okay,
I got a attorney working on that as we speak, Bill Gordon.
okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years in prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. The Blacksmith and Wesson with the serial number JFS 3119 is forfeited and to be destroyed. MIC caseload. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Mr. Harris, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I don't do drugs.
Okay, no marijuana, nothing like that?
I don't do drugs.
Okay, are you on your medication currently?
No, I be having migraines, so I took on ibuprofen, but I don't do drugs.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do regular UAs. And are you seeing a doctor for the other issues?
Yeah, I'm in the process of them trying to give me a doctor too, and then I also was told when I went to the situation that you ordered that they're probably gonna give me a psychiatrist on y'all, just that mine's gonna come before the Social Security.
All right, so we're gonna do Center for Healthcare Services. You're gonna have to sign releases because probation is gonna want to make sure that you have your case manager and you're following their rules, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna want field visits. So probation is gonna come out and visit you.
Okay.
We're gonna do field visits 2 times per month, and probation, if you want those field visits to take the place of reporting, you can do that. And that'll be until further notice. We're gonna do proof of SSI or employment within 90 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. So within 90 days, if you have your SSI taken care of, then of course you won't be employed. If there's an issue with the process of the SSI, you need to let probation know.
No problem.
All right. Is there anything else he needs?
Anything about community service hours, correct?
Yes, no community service hours.
That's all. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am, like I said, if things don't click in 90 days, you feel me, I'm gonna tell the probation, you know what I'm saying, like, if it's been in process. But I do got them to confirm that I do have a lawyer that's working on my case.
Yes, just let probation know, and you can have that attorney call probation and let
Okay.
them know the
That's
status.
it, that's it.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So I think now, because you're on probation, you know you're not supposed to possess any weapons. You understand? All right, take care of your health. All right, good luck to you. Probation will go over conditions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Danny Acosta. Oh, it's like I saw you yesterday, Mr. Koontz.
I could quit. You,
Okay, what movie is that from? Why can't I quit you?
I don't know.
That's, I think, I've never seen it, but I think it's from Brokeback Mountain.
Yes,
So,
it is.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is sentencing, correct?
No, it's an MTR judge.
MTR?
He has multiple new offenses. And part of the issue, there are two issues going on. The state's files, there's some discovery issues that we're still working on. But on top of that, I'd like to get him evaluated for the drug court program possibly.
All right, the only thing, I mean, you can do that, but the problem is drug court is full. And if someone will talk to the legislature and maybe give drug court more money, we can have more people to be in drug court. So I've had several people who need to go to drug court, but they're only allowed to have so many participants.
You know, and Judge, in talking to our client, he's been struggling with a drug issue for almost 2 decades. And so we just would like to try to put him in a position to succeed and not slip back. So I think an evaluation for drug court or any other program that the court can think of would be wonderful.
All right, so, and you say there's discovery issues with the new cases?
That's correct. We don't have everything, and I spoke to DA's office, and we're gonna have it hopefully in the next week or two.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you put this for maybe the last week in December that we're here, and we'll see where we are.
Okay.
Yes, I can do the 19th.
All right,
I
we're
will
gonna,
be out of town on the 19th. I'll be in McAllen, Texas.
but what if we're in trial still?
Oh, if we're still in trial, Judge, for God's sake, yeah.
Okay,
I'm in trial in here right now.
the 16th.
The 16th is fine. Sure.
Right,
Thank
we
you.
will- We'll see you back on the 16th.
Thank you, Ms. Wood.
You're welcome.
16th or
All right, Karen Munoz.
December 16th. Yes, sir.
Oops. All right. So what is happening with Ms. Munoz?
For the first time, I believe, he's got an offer from Marcus. Because he's leaving, he decided he wouldn't keep that offer open. I was not accepted that offer today.
Oh, where's Marcus going?
I don't know. He said he wasn't gonna be here.
Judge, I made a day offer only, which they, I guess, rejected for the time being, because I felt that it was a good offer. I didn't want to tie another prosecutor to my offer, so I told him she's rejecting that offer, and to start meeting with a new prosecutor for the next.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for Ms. Munoz?
I can do January 4th.
All right, we'll come back on January 4th.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
It's fine.
Adrian Monreal. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 8456 State of Texas versus Adrian Anthony Monreal. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
The attorney of record is Joanne De Hoyos. I work for Mr. Hoyos, Joseph Stateson. Mr. Monreal, would you give this court permission for me to give plea in place of Joanne De Hoyos?
Okay, you're gonna have to speak up.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Monreal, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, on count one.
Any objection?
None.
Mr. Monreal, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with harassment of a public servant as a third-degree felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
That's right.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Mr. Monreal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain agreement. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count one. Punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There are no applications. The state is taking in consideration 2022 CR 8567. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in count one. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Your Honor, state offers state exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Monreal, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court is finding that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we just asked that you give him credit for his back time. He has 170 days and it's just a straight time sentence.
All right, anything you wish to say, Mr. Monreal?
Oh, Your Honor.
All right. Then the court will sentence you to 4 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration cause number 2022 CR 8567. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing from defense.
Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Right.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to contact an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Monreal, how old are you? All right, you're 24. You should know better. Everybody is doing their job and they're trying to do it and have a nice day. Nobody wants to be spit upon. You understand? So now you're going to prison for 4 years because you disrespected someone and you spit on them. You can't do that. You understand? All right, good luck to you, Mr. Monreal. Thank you. Always good seeing you, Mr. Statesman. All right, Julian Palacios.
Oh, no problem, bro. Oh, that way every morning.
Yeah. All right, where's Palacios? Come forward.
Right here, Your Honor.
All right, what's happening with this case?
Your Honor, the state has graciously offered us PTD in this matter.
All right,
Palacios has been filling out his application and I'll get that in today.
all right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a PTD date for Palacios?
Yes, ma'am. They can come back on the 19th of January.
All right, we'll see you back on January 19th, Mr. Palacios. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
I'd be excused, Your Honor, after we get the
Yes.
paperwork filled out.
All right, who's here on Fortunato Alvarez? All right, Mr. Alvarez, if you can come forward. Good morning. Oh, happy holidays to you too. Let me see, nothing's marked on here, so. Oh, it's for deferred, okay. Court is calling 2022 CR 8768, State of Texas versus Fortunato Alvarez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brian Grimmer for the state of Texas.
Defense,
Hector Gonzalez.
are you Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court, let me see. I do not have his application for deferred. Is he applying for
Just
deferred?
regular probation.
All right, I don't have the application for that either. Maybe I'm missing it. Sure. All right, Mr. Alvarez, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Application for Community Supervision? Oh, you know what? I found it. It was stuck together. All right, and did you understand it and did you sign it? Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge, we did.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
I believe we are.
Mr. Alvarez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand what you're charged with is felon in possession of a firearm? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Alvarez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. The state recommends community supervision. There's to be no contact with any members of the Bandido.
Should be Banditos, Judge.
Oh, so is it Banditos?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so no contact with any members of the Bandidos outlaw motorcycle gang. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you a paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 150 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense is charged. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, Judge. State would offer State's Exhibit 1. No, Judge.
Mr. Alvarez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We can, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, just other than he does live and work in Howard County, which is what's the Big Spring. So we'd ask that the supervision be transferred to his home county, assuming they do.
All right, so Mr. Alvarez, if you're drug tested today, what are the results gonna be? And before you answer, you're gonna get a drug test today. So what the results gonna be? For what?
Sorry?
For what?
Cocaine.
All right, so how often are you using?
Last time I used was about a month ago.
Well, I mean, if you used a month ago, it wouldn't be in your system.
I don't know how long it takes to get out. So.
All right, so anything other than cocaine? No marijuana?
Yes, actually, I did. My fault, yes.
Okay, anything other than cocaine and marijuana? All right, do you have any children?
Yes, sir.
What are their ages?
Their ages are, let's see, 14, 11, 4.
All right, you all are too loud in the box.
I didn't, what's the age of the last?
Council,
Please,
if you all can be quiet in the box. So what are their date of births?
I do not know them off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
You got to know that if you're going to have children, they want to celebrate their birthday, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so do they live with you?
No, ma'am.
Do you see them?
Yes, ma'am.
How often?
Every other weekend and whatever. Every other year, I have them for the holiday.
All right, and do you see them by yourself or is there someone with you?
But so my girlfriend lives with me, but just us.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're telling me you're going to be positive for drugs, which means that you really shouldn't be alone with your children by yourself. So you'll need somebody to supervise you when you're with your children. Now, once you are in your sobriety, the court will consider lifting that. You understand? All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
Well, right now I'm working for a bar bag, as a bar bag for a bar right now. I'm currently in the process of finding another HVAC job.
Right, because you know, if you have sobriety issues, probably being a bar back is not the best of employments. So have you done anything other than be a bar back?
As far as like being a
Occupation?
the HVAC, yes, ma'am. That's why I used to do it for 7 years straight. And that's what I'm trying to get back into.
All right, so I'm gonna only allow you to be a bar back for 90 days. You're gonna have to find other employment.
Yes, ma'am.
Because with your sobriety issues, you probably shouldn't be working in a bar, because then people want to drink, people hand people drinks and things, you know, can get a little bit out of control. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years, transferred to Big Springs.
Big Spring, Howard County, yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. A defendant is allowed to continue employment as a bar back for 90 days. Then after that, he needs to find new employment. We're going to do a TAP evaluation. If the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment or outpatient treatment, regardless, I'm going to want intensive outpatient treatment. I'm going to start you off with intensive outpatient treatment. We're going to do 90 meetings in 90 days. So there's sober meetings throughout Texas, I'm sure throughout Big Springs, but you're going to need to go to one a day. You understand? And hopefully that will be a habit for you. There's going to be no contact. And see, you say banditos, but in all of the information I'm reading, it's spelled BANDIDIO, and you're saying that's incorrect. All right, how's it spelled?
BANDIDOS.
Okay. BANDIDOS. So there's to be no contact with any members of that gang. You understand? And we can do gang supervision, evaluation, field visits 2 times per month, and probation if those field visits want to be counted as his reporting, it can be. And let me see. Probation, is there anything else he needs? The UAs? We'll do the UA hotline until further notice. And he needs to test at least once a week. And if probation wants to use the UA hotline as a form of reporting, they can use that as a form of reporting as well. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Megan, I was just trying to find out the county for Big Spring.
What is the county?
Howard.
Howard. All right, we're gonna do parenting classes. 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. The remaining of the hours will be waived once you complete parenting classes. Is there anything else you need from the court? All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Do you have children?
Yes, ma'am.
You got to be a better parent, and being a good parent means you're not using drugs. You're not getting involved in this nonsense. You understand? You want them to look up to you and be proud of you. All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
All right, you too. Who's here on Philip Singleton?
That would be me, Your Honor.
All right, where's Mr. Singleton?
He's in the back row. Come on
Come forward. What is happening with this case?
We can't reach an agreement. We're gonna need to move it to the trial docket.
All right, has an offer been tendered?
Well, it's a to-do offer and Mr.
Well, I'm just trying to,
No.
I just want to know. So you've received an offer.
I've received an offer, yes.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
I believe I do, but I will sign the.
All right, state, I need an acknowledgement discovery on Singleton. All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Mr. Singleton, can we set Mr. Sohansky's other case? And this will be your plea deadline date. And what's the date of your other case?
It's 15th, I believe, Your Honor.
December 15th?
Yes, I think, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Well, come on, new phone, I don't know how to use this.
All right, we'll see you back on 15th. On that day, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer. If you decide not to accept the offer, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Herbert King. Hello, and I know you were recently appointed.
Monica Guerrero was recently appointed.
Yes. So where are we on Mr. King?
On this case, Your Honor, we had asked for a plea offer, and we've been informed that the state has a second case, felony case that they're gonna be filing. And it looks like they're also gonna check if this should be with the family violence side instead of CTD. But we don't have a plea offer at this time.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have this recalled in January?
January 10th.
All right, we'll be back on January 10th. All right, Ms. Ferguson, we'll give you a reset form. All right, is the attorney here on Kilpatrick Taylor? Come forward. All right, what are we here for?
Two motions.
Yes, what are the two motions?
There's a motion.
Just in the middle. In the middle.
Two motions filed by defendant, motion to quash
All
indictment.
right, everybody in the box, you all need to be quiet.
Two motions filed by defendant, motion to quash indictment, and motion to modify special conditions bond.
All right. And are you asking that the defendant's motion to be heard? Is there a reason to quash the indictment?
Yes, defendant contends that the indictment that was signed by the grand jury on July 14th, 2022, does not give him fair notice.
Wait a minute, so this is, you're arguing your client's motion?
Yes, I mean, it's.
Oh,
yes.
okay. All
You
right.
can certainly have it done by submission, Your Honor.
No. I just want to know. All right, the court is calling 2000.
Excuse me, Your Honor, and also, count number 2 with retaliation, you didn't mention that, and that was a case that was already dropped. That was the case that was already dismissed, and they put the same paragraph, count 2, for retaliation, that was already dismissed already.
Okay, all right.
That's pretty much like they just targeted me.
Okay, all right, Ms. Ferguson. Can we send this down to impact court?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what day?
It would be the,
And that is?
December 5th.
All right, so you're going to be sent to impact court on December 5th for jury trial,
That's fair enough. What day, Your Honor?
December 5th,
We can have pre-trial motions heard.
down there. Yes.
Right.
All right, thank you.
I understand.
Impact court earlier this week, and it really works.
So by the way, Your Honor, can I also request a civil rights attorney too?
No, that's not what is done here. You'll need to, you can actually Google the state bar and they will give you a civil rights attorney or.
Yes, since we do this trial, we probably been a lot of improper procedures going on from the time of my arrest in my indictment in this courtroom, so they definitely put that on record too, if they off record. If they're saying I'm saying it's gonna be with me and or against me. So,
All right, so we'll see you on December 5th. Thank you, Mr. Kilpatrick. Mr. Kilpatrick, you need to get your reset form. And you need to calm down. You are in a courtroom.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Kilpatrick. I'm sure a lot of people are upset. Can you tell if I'm upset or not? No, but I could be upset right now. But you know why I'm being calm? And I need you to be calm. I hear you. I understand what you're saying. We're going to take care of your case as quickly as possible. So that is why your case is being reset for December 5th. What's going to happen is you're going to sign the reset form and you're going to meet your attorney in impact court.
No, I want to ask you something important.
Yes.
I went down to victims impact court, we were there like back in September. I'm understanding how come you have to do anything over there.
All right, well, because that's the day that I have impact court, so it helps me to be able to have 2 trials at once potentially. So, Mr. Do you have the reset form to give to Mr. Kilpatrick? All right, Mr. Kilpatrick, if you could sign the reset form. And Norman, let them know that he's to go.
So what is the way I can get the civil rights attorneys so that I can get assistance throughout my trial?
Oh, just call the state bar. Or either you can Google, and I'm sure there are plenty, I think there's still the legal aid. And they'll be able to help you. The attorneys that are signing this court are attorneys to help you with your criminal case. They're not attorneys that are assigned to help you with civil matters.
Yeah, this doesn't have to do with my civil rights throughout this whole trial, so.
Okay.
This is linked to civil rights. My trial, from the time I arrest, I'm in the trial, it's part of civil rights too.
All
I need
right.
a civil rights attorney too, because he ain't no good.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kilpatrick. Have a nice day. Charles Garley. Hi, how are you feeling?
Better, a lot better.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for dressing appropriately for court. All right. So last time we were here, there was discovery with regards to SAPD records.
Okay, so if we turn that over to Nate.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. All right. Any other discovery?
Well, we did want to see if there was internal affairs documents regarding this particular incident, Judge, but I know that they didn't turn over that to the state when they requested it. I don't know if it's what the procedure is, if it's just not available at this point because
So that's what I
it's
requested.
ongoing.
And everything my investigator got back, I turned over.
All right. So is there no Tuesday?
We didn't get anything back relating to this incident. There was a later incident with the officer and we turned that over. So everything that we have knowledge of, we turned.
Okay, so here's the thing, last time, and I know you all didn't subpoena anybody because you said you had the records. I'm gonna give you all one more setting.
Okay.
And if there's anything else, you all need to subpoena people to
And
be here to bring
I need to do that, I-
documents. Yes, all right, what date, Ms. Ferguson?
Oh, January 9th.
All right, we'll be back on January 9th.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And are you getting sleep, Mr. Navy?
I am much better.
All right, who's here on Jose Ruiz? All right, what's happening with this case?
Guys, we do still have a couple outstanding,
Okay.
a couple of outstanding evidence items.
Mr. Ruiz, you need to come down. All right, what is outstanding?
They recently did a search of the defendant's car and a phone was found, and so we're waiting on the dump of that phone. The lab has found blood on one of the items. We are waiting for the DNA comparison on that. I did talk to the lab and asked that it be rushed, Judge. They originally told me 6 months. That's why I asked for it to be rushed, and now they're saying a month. So that is the rush, is a month there, that backed up. And again, also the lab, the same exam, they took swabs during the autopsy. That would be equivalent to swab collected in the same exam, and we're waiting on those as well, and the same timeline from the lab. They said now that I asked for it to be rushed, they said about a month.
Okay, all right, we're gonna put this at the end of January and see where we're on discovery. And the next setting, if there's a discovery issue, everybody needs to make sure they subpoena whomever has the discovery so we can find out why we don't have discovery.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson?
And I'm sorry, one more thing, Judge. There was also evidence found of narcotics, and there will be new charges filed on the defendant.
January 31st.
All right, we're gonna come back on January 31st. And is this case gonna stay indicted as it is?
We don't know.
At this point in time, I will say yes, Judge. I don't want to say that could never change. At this point in time, I believe so, but we're still talking.
All right, so we'll be back on January 31st. And we will see you then.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Is this the regular reset or is it the discovery?
It's discovery.
Discovery.
Your Honor, may I please check my calendar? I may have a Houston on January 31st.
Yes.
And can I just make it one day before or later?
Yes, but keep the two co-defendants together.
And codefendant is this afternoon?
No, co-defendant had a hearing on the civil side.
I knew that. I didn't know how we were handling that. Okay, so we're just gonna set her for the same day?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right, this is the last case the court is calling. Jesus Real Miel. Hello.
Well, you're on.
Hi, so what is happening with this case?
We have had an offer tendered. It is for dismissal of discharge and through pleading to a number of misdemeanors that are outstanding in misdemeanor court. We are, I'm gonna go and set that in court 15. If you can give me a reset, I'll have to make sure that I'm here and do that in between.
So how long do you expect maybe?
I honestly don't do very much for 15, so I don't know. Your Honor.
Right, who's the judge for 15?
Get it done this month.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's recall this back for the end of December, the last date. We're here. What date is that, Ms. Ferguson?
The 19th.
All right, we're gonna call this for the 19th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset.
Now, that's not exactly a month, right?
No, I mean, close to the end of the month.
The 19th, you said?
Yes.
We've never
And
seen
if
it.
you have everything completed before then we won't be here.
Your Honor, I have one other case that I would like to see if we can do. On this. It's an NPR.
All right, court is calling 2000. This is the last case. The court is calling 2020 CR 0679, State of Texas versus Antoinette Garnica.
She is in custody, has not been brought out. The state is going to have to refile the MTR. There's an error on it. Yes.
All right.
And so we need to give them time to do that and then we just did that.
All right.
I think that's the, but we never.
All right. So I have a meeting I have to go to.
Can I just get a